and today I have a tutorial on this look for you guys. I'm actually obsessed with it and so happy with how it turned out. I tried a ton of new products in today's video, including trying out a SILISPONGE for the first time. This is the New You SILISPONGE, and this video is actually being sponsored by New You, but all opinions are 100% my own, and being sponsored does not change anything. All they asked me to do was try it out and say my thoughts, whether good or bad, and that's exactly what I did today. Today I created this invisible liner look, and I tried out this trend, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm so happy with how this look turned out. Before we get started, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below your thoughts. Also subscribe to my channel. I post every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday for After the Weeks at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's such a fun time around here, and I would love it if you stuck around. But without further ado, if you want to see how I achieved this makeup look, then keep on watching. Okay, so getting started, I am so excited because today I am finally trying out a SILISPONGE. These have been out for a while, so I'm late on the bandwagon as always. But I'm excited. Graduation's coming up and summer's coming up because I'm gonna have my whole summer just to do YouTube full time and hopefully not be late to everything. So today I'm trying out for you guys the New You SILISPONGE. Comes in a little package like this, and opening it up, here is the SILISPONGE, and oh my god, it feels very squishy. Some of the videos that I have seen, their SILISPONGE looks like hard, so I think it's actually a good thing that this one's squishy because it's gonna help in my opinion. But I'm really excited to see how this works. You guys know I'm always using a beauty blender, so we will see. But the major difference between this and the beauty blender and what is supposed to make this better is that it does not absorb your makeup. So I was informed to put a lot less product on than I would while using a beauty blender or a brush, because a beauty blender or brush absorbs some of your product, and then this is just supposed to blend whatever you have on your face out. So I'm so excited. And this has a cute little face on it, like how cute. So this is the New You SILISPONGE. So today I'm actually going to use my primer with it as well. I want to just see if there's any difference with that. I don't know whether to put it directly onto the SILISPONGE or my face, so I think I'm just gonna do my face and I'm gonna dot it around. And I always rub in my primer with my hands. I never use a beauty blender anyways, so this is kind of weird to me anyways because I never use a tool, but I figured why not? We'll just test everything with this. So, I don't know how to use it. I think I'm just gonna swipe and then pat the excess. I actually do like it. Feels just as moisturizing as if I were to use my hand, and bouncing this, it doesn't feel rough on my face at all. It feels so smooth. Like I said, I don't really apply my primer with a tool, so I don't think I could really say anything in full. I also want to spray my Smashbox priming spray. I actually forgot to do this first, but I don't really think it matters. I love this stuff. It seriously is one of my favorite priming sprays. This is my second bottle, by the way. So now I'm gonna go in with my Benefit Professional, and I'm not gonna apply this with the SILISPONGE just because I like to like press this in, and the texture of this Professional is very like silicone-y. Okay, so today, I don't know if this is risky, but I wanted to try a few new products in this video. I am going to be doing a full face of first impressions video very soon. I did in fact haul this months ago. This is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation, and I have yet to use it because, like I said in my last Chit Chat Get Ready With Me, I always try things on camera. But anyways, this is in the shade Bisque Neutral. I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be a good match, but we will see. So I'm gonna try and use as little product as possible because I heard this is super full coverage, and also the SILISPONGE doesn't absorb product. So I'm just gonna start off by taking this wand, and I'm just gonna stick to that for now because I've never used this foundation. I don't really know how to go about it. And okay, I'm going to go in. It definitely matches my arms, but my chest and neck are naturally a lot lighter for some reason. So I'm just spreading this out, and I'm gonna start to blend and tap this in. Okay, so far so good. I don't see any problems with it. It definitely is a lot more product. It's not soaking anything up, so what you put on your skin is what you get. So I'm just kind of spreading it out first, just because I think that's what you're supposed to do, and I don't know. So just spreading this all over my skin. Ignore all this, I have to fix that, but I'm gonna focus on the face. But okay, let's see. As for this foundation, I am super impressed. You guys know I've been using my LA Girl foundation and my LA Girl foundation only. So it feels so weird to be using something different. And actually that was the perfect amount of products because I have leftover from my forehead. This is super full coverage. Wow. This foundation, and so far with the application of the SILISPONGE, is amazing. So I'm just going to continue to just blend this out because it's kind of hard while I'm talking. And I will be right back to kind of give you more of my thoughts on the SILISPONGE. Quickly though, I did use a little bit too much foundation, which is crazy because I feel like if I used that amount that I did with the Beauty Blender, I would need more. But with the SILISPONGE, it's all good. I'm also going to bend this real quick to see what that does. Okay, so I am back, and for the most part everything is blended, but honestly I am impressed with both the foundation and the SILISPONGE. I will talk more about the foundation throughout the video and what I think, but I do want to talk about the SILISPONGE right now. This seriously leaves such a flawless finish on the skin. Personally, I think it looks really, really airbrushed. I love the texture. It doesn't leave any lines or streaks at all. You do have to put some extra love into like the creases of your nose or like over here. But the one thing I did wrong, not with the SILISPONGE, but just in general, I put way too much product. And to me, I am shocked because I didn't even put any product on my forehead, and I had enough to disperse throughout my whole entire face. So it did take a little bit extra work to blend everything out. I did have to try and put some on my eyes. Right now it looks pretty horrendous around my eyes right now, but that really goes to show how much product you save by using this SILISPONGE. And now I know there's quite a lot of product in here, and it comes out of that wand. So I'm going to be saving a lot of product just by using the SILISPONGE, because I know for a fact if I were to use this amount of product with the Beauty Blender, I would probably need to go back in with more, or I would be just fine. But in all honesty, with the SILISPONGE, it was too much product, which I am shocked by. But I also like, because you know the Beauty Blender, I always apply it with a wet Beauty Blender. And the SILISPONGE, of course, it's just the silicone texture. It's not wet at all. So I actually kind of like that because it doesn't alter what the finish that the foundation is supposed to give. The Beauty Blender automatically makes any foundation just a bit more dewy because you are applying it with something wet. But I am super impressed with not only the SILISPONGE but the foundation as well. This is marketed as a full coverage foundation, and that's what it is. The one thing I'm not so happy about with the foundation is that it's kind of creasing around my smile line, but other than that, I literally see no problems, and I'm super impressed. Tissue right now, and here's my SILISPONGE, and I'm gonna try and wipe off all the product because we are gonna go back in with the SILISPONGE and use this for concealer later on. So this is pretty much all clean now, and there's barely any product on this tissue, which this seriously amazes me. And I just want to go back in and see what it does. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend going back in once you put your foundation on, just because you already have all that product and then it's kind of being picked up by the clean sponge. So you want to make sure not to go back in with the SILISPONGE once you take your product off. Okay, so I'm quickly gonna go ahead and do my brows off camera. I recently did an eyebrow routine, so if you want to check that out, definitely go ahead and do so. And I'm also going to set my lids. I do have some foundation on them, but I'm just going to put some Shape Tape on them with a brush brush, and then I'm going to set with some translucent powder, and we're going to move on to the eyes. I probably wouldn't recommend applying your base with the SILISPONGE just because it's a hard area to work with, but we are going to go back into this for the under eye concealer and just highlighting the face. I'm not going to set my foundation either, so let's see how this goes. Okay guys, so I am back, and I was thinking to myself, and I kind of want to keep this flawless finish that I have right now, and I'm just going to go in with a translucent powder and just set around like the majority of my cheek area just so that doesn't move. And I basically just want to keep away from my under eye area where I'm going to conceal, and just keep it to the lower half of my face basically for now. Even with matte foundations, you really want to try and set because it will make sure that nothing is going to be patchy later on. Also, it makes your makeup last all day. Okay, so I'm also going to set a bit of a bake tour down just to prep for our contour that we're going to do later on. I always love to do this. It makes contouring later on just so much easier. You can use a lot less product. And also, I'm going to bake around my smile lines, which I never really do, but I'm going to now. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. And I also want to apply some of my Glossier coconutbalm.com, and it's a universal skin salve, so you can pretty much put it everywhere, like on your elbows, everywhere, but I really like this on my lips. It feels really nice. Okay, so it's eyeshadow time, and I'm so excited today because I'm going to be trying out the Morphe 35R palette. I believe the R stands for Rust. Let me open it up. My mom actually used this before me, but whatever. So if it looks used, I didn't use it. It was her. So here it is. Look how beautiful it is. It is super bronzy, super rusty. Perfect for that girl that loves that golden goddess look. I love all the variety of shades here. Honestly, I love it. This is like go-to transition central right here. Everything is pretty much all warm for the most part. We got some cool shades kind of down the center. We got some shimmery shades over here, but majority of them are all over here, and they are stunning. I did get a huge PR package from Morphe. If you follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, you probably saw. I have an idea of what I want to do today. Today, I really want to try out the invisible eyeliner trend. I didn't want to create anything similar to what I already have because with these kinds of colors, it's really easy to just create a staple look. And I have a lot of those on my channel, so I feel like the invisible liner will just make everything a little bit intricate. So I love this banana shade in the center. It's the only light shade, but it's perfect. It's just a perfect vanilla banana color, and I'm just going to apply this all over my lids. I honestly love all of the Morphe products I have. I know I have a collaborative relationship with them now, and I'm an affiliate. We are actually in the works of making a code, so stay tuned for that. But I purchased Morphe products on my own before I even became a part of their team. I know there's a lot of talk about them, negative talk, which I never really understood because I have used their brushes and their shadows before, like I said before, I worked with them, and I've always been a fan. I've never had problems at all, and I truly love all their products. So I'm just putting that out there because some drama channels are saying that like whoever works with Morphe is like a scam and you're getting paid and like all this stuff. I haven't even gotten my affiliate code yet. There's no contract, there's no nothing, so honestly I wouldn't really believe everything you hear on drama channels, but just putting my input out there because you never know. There's a lot of misconception going around. I think I'm going to go in with this shade, and I'm going to go in with my Morphe E27 brush, and I'm just going to work this in. You really want to focus on your transition because we are going to be creating that invisible liner, and so you want to focus on the shadows kind of above instead of below by the lid. So I'm just lightly washing that color for now. I want this kind of tone to be the shade that peers over the rest of them. I seriously love this invisible liner trend. I've never tried it before. I believe it was started by staceymariemua on Instagram, and she is so talented. Okay, so now I kind of want to go into this shade. We were just using this one, and then this one is just a little bit warmer, so I'm going to just keep using the same brush. And I'm going to add some more warmth into the look. So we're focusing this into the crease, and then I'm dragging it up into the transition color, and you could just see the difference, how much warmth that just added. Do the same to the other eye. I'm actually going to clean up my brow bone with that banana shade real quick though. This is just going to clean everything up and make it a lot more blended. Okay, so I definitely like the darker colors, but I kind of want to keep on this top row. I think I'm going to do these three. Before I start the lid, I'm just going in with the clean fluffy blending brush. And the brush that I tend to typically gravitate towards for this step is the Morphe M533. I really love it. It's just really huge and really fluffy, and it's perfect for just having no color on the brush and just blending everything. Okay, so I actually got a few new brushes from Sigma. I'm going to use one of them today. This is the Firm Shader, or the E57, and I'm going to go in without wetting the shades just to see how they are first. I'm going to go in with this light champagne color as my first shade, and I'm just packing this on, and I'm going straight onto the lid. And wow, can you guys see that? Like, that's pretty impressive for without wetting the lid. So I don't know what people are saying about Morphe shadows. Like, in my opinion, they're really good. Especially like $22 and 35 shades. Like, come on. I am going to go back in and wet this, but I'm just going in dry for now. And I'm also going to put this color in the inner corner because I really like it. And now I'm going to gradually go from this color and then into that color. So kind of going to be an ombre fade. And that's without wetting. And now I'm going to go into the darkest shade, this out here. Even though majority of that is going to get swept away by the wing, but I just still want that fade. Wow. Pigment, hello. Okay, so now I'm going to wet my brush. Okay, hello. Yes. Look at that. Like, look at that. I love it. And then the other side of the brush I'm gonna wet, and we're gonna take that second color, and I'm not gonna bother to wet the last color, just these two. So I'm swiping this on, but when it comes to when these two colors meet, I'm gonna tap, and then I'm gonna go in with the other side of the brush and take that first color and just tap it so that they fade into one another. Okay, so I absolutely love that. I just want to keep it really neutral and then have the invisible liner be the star of the show. And blend the transition shade and also blend where the shimmer shades in the transition meet. And now for the fun part. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I have different brushes and I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape. But the brushes that I have to do this with, I'm not really sure. I'm a liquid liner girl, so I always use the brush that the liquid liner applicator comes with. I don't really use gel liner often. Oh wait, this is the brush I want. So I have three brushes. I have this just sharp one, which I always use in my liquid liner tubes. It just comes with a brush similar to this. And then I have an angled brush and then a smaller angled brush. And these are both from BH Cosmetics, and then this one is from Royal Ling Nickel. So I'm going to stick with this one first just to create the outline, and then I'm going to go in with one of those angled brushes. But I'm going to do this in silence, so wish me luck. I'm just going to start by taking a little bit, oh that was a little bit too much, of that concealer onto this brush. Wish me luck. I'm going to start my wing in the center. I am not going to bring it out to the front. By the way, it doesn't really matter how sharp it is because it's going to end up blending into the concealer. That is also another reason I like doing my concealer after my eyes, even if I have my foundation on, just because it makes everything a lot easier to just blend into. Okay, so I just made the initial line and I'm really having trouble telling if this is good because the concealer isn't down yet, so it's kind of just like a blob right now. But I like the shape that it is on top, so I'm just going to keep it like that for now. Do the other eye, and then we're going to do the concealer and then the lower lash line and see then if we have to fix the line some more. Okay, so this is completely the rough outline, so just ignore how it looks right now. I'm going to go in with the concealer underneath the eyes now and blend that in because we want this line to be invisible. And let's go back to the SILISPONGE. So I feel like I have to pinch this and just start dabbing. And I'm gonna start swiping it when I get to the outer corner, like just swipe it out. And also drag the product so that it matches up with that line. As for the SILISPONGE blending out the concealer underneath my eyes though, it looks really nice. I really like the consistency it's giving. It's basically keeping the color that you put underneath your eyes, because sometimes the Beauty Blender will soak up some of the color and show some of your dark circles. So honestly, I think from now on, the SILISPONGE is going to replace my Beauty Blender for blending underneath my eyes, because I really struggle with dark circles, and this seriously covers it all. Okay, I'm sort of seeing the look come together now. I really love this for concealer. I'm so impressed. This is what we have right now. Super bright. I love this look. And now, what I'm going to do is now intensify the pigmentation of the invisible liner onto my lids. And I can now really see, because it is going to perfectly match with the concealer underneath my eyes. I can just drag this down. Point of the invisible liner is that it just fades into your concealer, so you can't even see that there's a line there. So I do find this easier than winged liner, honestly, just because you only have to make sure that one line is straight, basically. Usually you have to make sure that the top line is straight and the wing, and that they meet up, but you just gotta make sure that this top line up there is as straight as can be. The only problem I am having with doing this technique is, since I have dark circles, I have it even darker in the corner of my eyes, so I'm having trouble making sure that it's completely invisible, you feel? So to make sure that's not a problem, I'm just going to go in with the tiniest bit of concealer, just extra concealer over there, and it should be all good after that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, blend out the lines to just set my under eyes. And I do not believe that the SILISPONGE works with powder products, and I'm not gonna risk it, so I'm just going to use a brush for that. Okay, so I just packed powder on, and I made sure to pack powder on right here to really help that invisible liner effect. Honestly, so far I kind of like this in replace of a winged liner. Actually stunning. Okay, so while my bake is on, I'm gonna go and blend my transition color just a tiny bit. I'm gonna go in with the excess product on my SILISPONGE to highlight the rest of my face. But wow, I'm really impressed with this. Honestly, I had doubts. I'm sorry I doubted you, but damn. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the rest of the face before we go back into the eyes, and I'm just going to set all over my face now. I'm now going to go in with another Sigma brush. This is the Smudge E21 brush, and I'm going to start working on the lower lash line, and I'm going to stick to right here. I'm not going to bring it out, but I'm going to take the same two colors we used in the transition. Okay, yes! And now I'm going to go in with my falsies. So I'm going to go in with the falsies I always use with my winged liner, and these are Cocoa Lashes in the style Cocoa. These are some of my faves. These wing out at the outer corners perfectly, and they really complement your look when you have winged liner on. But since today we have that invisible liner, I feel like it will really just accentuate and look really good. Usually I put liner underneath my lashes for definition, but since we have the invisible liner going on, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Wow, these lashes look so good. I'm gonna move on to the face, and we're gonna combine these lashes and do the lower lashes later on. The foundation looks so good. I'm so satisfied right now. I'm gonna go in with my blush, and this is the Too Faced Baby Love blush, but this is my favorite blush. It adds the perfect flush of color. And now I'm gonna use two new highlighters. well, they're kind of highlighting palettes, but first I'm gonna go in with this one, and I'm only gonna go in with this one if I need to. This is the Smashbox Spotlight palette, and this is their collab with Casey Holmes here on YouTube. She created 2 highlighting palettes, one in gold and one in pearl, and personally I like pearl better, and I really like this shade. I feel like it matches the look a lot. The rest are kind of more subtle. And then this is a palette from BH Cosmetics. It is their Spotlight palette. Wow, that's actually so funny because they're both Spotlight palettes. And this looks like a really similar dupe for the Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit. So I'm only going to go in with that on top if I feel like I need more glow. Starting with highlight, I'm just going to go in with this last shade right here. And put this on the nose, Cupid's bow. It really is a stunning shade. This shade is really intense, but the other 2 aren't. So the palette is really versatile if you like a subtle glow some days, and then some days you want it to be popping. But I like popping every time I wear a highlight. So for me, I probably wouldn't have bought it if I didn't get it sent to me. So I like it. I kind of want to add more though. So I'm going to go in with Dream in the BH Cosmetics palette. Okay, wow. I've heard a lot of people talk about this palette, but for the price, it's pretty good. I love the Nicole Guerrero palette. It's definitely one of my favorite highlighting palettes. I feel like nothing really can truly ever compare, but this is a really good dupe. The whole palette is not super on point, but it matches pretty closely. Okay, so we're gonna go back and intensify that later, but I'm gonna go back in with my contour and blush and blend everything together. And now I'm gonna go into the eyes. So do lower lashes and combine my real lashes with my falsies. Okay, you guys don't even understand. I am so in love with this look. Like, I'm gonna be rocking invisible liner all summer, let me tell you. Pat and blend. Okay, so I want to put my lip color on right now before I set my face, and I'm thinking about using Exposed by Carli, and this has been out for a while, but I personally just got it. So lining my lips. I love her liners so much. Now for the liquid lipstick. It's a really pretty nude color. It kind of has like a little bit of a peachy orangey vibe, which I really like. So now I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I'm gonna go back in with my highlighter. And I'm using the Casey Holmes highlighter to do this. Oh my god, I love this look. So that is it for this makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look that I created. I love it so much. A big thank you to all of you who are watching. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone.